Hello everyone. A few weeks ago, we talked a lot about birds, and we read a lot of stories about birds. Now, we talked about how, when you're talking with your hands, you might sign a bird like this. And we talked about how, for a chicken, you might show that beak, that bird beak, and then scratch in the dirt. Or for a rooster, you might take your hand, fingers up, wave them like that. You can also do a chicken like this with one finger, and add that bird beak anytime. In the language of Spanish, one way that you might say bird is pájaro. And a pájaro, right here, usually means a small bird, and a lot of times a bird that can fly. There's another word for bird, and that word is ave. And an ave might be a bigger bird, or a bird that doesn't fly, or a bird that eats other animals. An ave might also be the chicken or the rooster that we talked about. El gallo here is the rooster. And it might be a heron, or an egret, or a crane, a bird that catches fish, and other small animals in the water. La garza is one such bird. It also might be a hawk, or an eagle, an osprey, or a falcon, which catches animals on the ground, in the field, in the water. And an animal that we're going to hear about today, while we learn to count, lives in the water. And it makes a sound that I'm sure you've heard. That animal is called the frog. In Spanish, la rana. Now, when I want to make a frog sound, I grew up speaking English, and I learned to go, ribbit, ribbit. But this isn't true everywhere in the world. In ancient Greece, the sound for the frog was rekekekeks, quacks, quacks. Can you try that? Rekekekeks, quacks, quacks. Does that sound like a frog to you? Play around with it. But I bet you can ribbit. Just like this. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. Maybe stick your tongue out to catch a fly. Ribbit. Today we're reading another story about numbers. This story is called 999 Tadpoles. This was written by Ken Kimura and illustrated by Yasunari Murakami. 999 Tadpoles by Ken Kimura, illustrated by Yasunari Murakami, published by North South in New York and London. One warm spring day, 999 tadpoles were born. Although they were tiny, they were full of energy. Mother and Father Frog were very proud. The 999 tadpoles grew and grew and grew until one day they grew into frogs. Now the pond was too small for them. "We can't move," one called. "We can't breathe," called another. "Don't push," called a third. "We have a situation here," said Father. "We'll have to move," said Mother. So, 999 young frogs scrambled to get out of the pond. "Shh," said Mother. "The world is a dangerous place. You must be careful." "Follow your father," said Mother. So, 999 young frogs followed their father across the field. But no matter how far they went, all they saw was more grass. "When will we get there?" asked one. "I'm hungry," said another. "I'm tired," said a third. "Keep hopping," said Father, "or a scary snake might get you." What's a snake? Asked the children. A snake can eat a whole frog in just one swallow, said Father. It has a very big mouth and a very long body. Like this? Asked the children. Yes, said Father. The snake was sleeping peacefully. It must have just eaten. Run for your lives, said Mother, before the snake wakes up. So 999 young frogs ran for their lives across the field. They didn't notice a hungry hawk flying over their heads. Then, the hawk swooped down. And grabbed Father. Let me go, cried Father. Not a chance, said the hawk, and rose into the sky. Let him go, cried Mother, and she grabbed onto Father's legs. Let them go, cried 999 young frogs, and they grabbed on too. Why is this frog getting so heavy? The hawk wondered, and he looked back. Wow, he was carrying a whole year's supply of frogs. He was so pleased, he flew even higher. The 999 young frogs loved it. This is great, said one. What a view, said another. Whee, said a third. Mother and Father were not as enthusiastic. They were worried about falling. Don't let go, warned Mother. No matter what, added Father. The hawk flew on and on. 999 young frogs were getting restless. I'm hungry, said one. When will we get there? Asked another. I'm tired, said a third. The 999 young frogs began to wiggle. Every time one wiggled, the hawk swerved. Hang in there, Hawk said. Father, don't let us go. But the hawk couldn't hold on any longer. Ah! Cried Father. Mother and Father and 999 young frogs fell down from the sky. Splash, 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 splash. Mother and Father and 999 young frogs fell into a pond, a big pond. It's cool, said one. It's wet, said another. It's home, said the third. And that's how Mother and Father and their 999 young frogs found a new home. For all I know, they're still there, singing, "Ribbit,